life keeps going on, and the melody of my escape, vibration of my soul, it sends me to the peak. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no regret, you got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another live stream. Obviously, earlier on today, we done Man City versus Liverpool. Very good game that was, especially as a neutral. But obviously, we're here for the Hatter Show, episode 34. And I'm joined with two people today. So let's just get into it. Of course, like always, with my dad. How are you, Dad?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And then obviously, like I've been saying, we're joined by a Huddersfield fan as well. Brad Barbs is his YouTube. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Good to be here. Happy.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. But obviously, in today's episode, we'll be talking about the Peterborough game. Because obviously, me and Dad haven't spoken about that yet on here. And then obviously, the one coming up, why Brad is here, the Huddersfield game. So, yeah, let's get into some comments before we start the whole thing off. Not started. There we go. We started now. Big up David. He says, hello. He says, up the town, absolutely. Big up Max as well. He says, big up T. And obviously, he's gassed about that City result. Big up Lewis as well. He says, evening T, hope you're well. Yep, I'm good, thanks. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So Peterborough played midweek. Yeah, it was not a great game. It was not a great game. Obviously, I went to it. You know, the best thing about it for me was all the Luton fans that travelled. You know, 4,000 Luton fans, and yeah, it just wasn't a very good performance. You know, obviously, looking at it on paper, and this is no disrespect to Peterborough, I felt we should be winning it. Now, I know they're going to be fighting for their lives. However, teams, Hull City, you know, I know they're, you know, sort of in the battle, but I think the points are too much now. But they went there and won 3-0. You know, Middlesbrough, who are a very similar team, obviously fighting for the same things as us, went there literally before that and won 4-0. It's a game really out of the remaining ones that I felt we should have been winning, similar to when we played Hull City away. But yeah, it just wasn't good enough. But obviously, we'll start off with the lineup. So the lineup was very interesting. So it's Shea in goal. It was Bell left wing back, Fred right wing back, and then at the back it was Naismith, Kioso, and Bree. And then it was Ruddock and Campbell, and then it was Hilton in front of them, and then Adebayo and Jerome up top. Now, when we spoke on the phone about it, Dad, it was a bit interesting seeing Jerome. I felt he didn't really need to start in this sort of game, and I know you're the same with that.
Yeah, like I with that lineup, I know he likes to make changes and that, yeah, but he just underestimated them, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're you know, they're likely to get relegated, but you know, teams are like that. They like to get one over on anyone they're playing. They've got nothing to lose now, really. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And he just there's too many changes, too many tinkering around, and I just felt like, you know, isn't compared to our like the only good thing potentially there was Fred starting, as you predicted.
Yeah, I did want to see it. Just quickly, I also thought he would due to the performance he had last time against Peterborough. So
first game of the season, yeah, but that was total different contrast. That first game of the season, we looked like an established championship team, and they looked like a rabbit in the headlights. This time, we both looked like League One teams. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I do put a lot of that down to the changes he made and the tactics and even the substitutions. Like, we were lucky to come away with there with a point. You know?
Yeah. No, we'll definitely get more into that. But yeah, the main thing we was talking about was Jerome. Really, it just didn't feel we needed to start this sort of game. And then I just don't know what. I also don't know why we went back to that formation either. You know, I don't know. the 3-5-2's seemed to be doing all right. So I don't know why we went to this other one.
Well, he's been doing it away. But he's been doing it. It has worked a couple of times away, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not always going to work, is it? And sometimes you should just put your best team out. Don't be that. I feel that is a bit cocky. I'm not, and hopefully they learn that lesson. And against Blackpool and at home, we should be beating them. Don't make the same mistake. Do you know what I mean? Just don't make, don't be doing that. And that's what happens sometimes. I mean, look at Fulham today. I think they probably underestimated Coventry. The Coventry are a good side.
Especially you look at a reverse fixture as well. They shouldn't really be.
They beat them twice, I think, didn't they? Coventry.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm on about. And that was after we beat Coventry heavily.
Yeah, so it does happen in football, and we've done that. We shouldn't be doing that. But he's still learning though as a manager, and overall, he's like 90% there. So, but lesson learned. We're still in there.
Yeah.
He even said before this, the Championship, and any game's tough. Then why you? Yeah, I know you rely on your squad and you believe in your squad and that, but sometimes a couple of players just haven't got that extra ability that you need in the Championship and pushing up to the Premier League, and that was shown in that game. Sorry, but it was. But yeah,
no, I totally agree. Obviously, we'll get more into sort of players' sort of performances in a bit. And big up, Proud Terriers. I'm guessing he's part of your channel, sort of, Brad. But big up yourself. Thank you for coming over, mate. Middlesbrough can't finish at all. Obviously, Hull got a massive win there, so that's why he's saying that. Shea was class. Yeah, I'd agree with that. To be fair, Pelly was, he wasn't great again. Big up Taylor, obviously another Luton fan. He says, "All right, lads." He says, "Change of scenery." Yes, we have currently got the Peterborough ground in the background, unless you mean Brad on as well. Yeah, literally. Max says, "Up the Tigers." Proud Terrier says, "Are you coming up for the game tomorrow?" I am. Yes, I am. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, obviously, let's get into the first half performance. And boy, I don't even know where to start with this. Seriously, it was it was not very good, to be honest. I think they were the better side in the first half. Would you agree with that, Dad?
Yeah. What they done was they just got in our faces. They played like how we play against teams. They just reversed it, and we just didn't. It wasn't like they were peppering us and that, but we just didn't respond.
Yeah.
And yeah, it weren't good. It weren't good. Well, I have seen worse, but it weren't good. We weren't switched on. We and it just, the longer the game went on, the more it was like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. If I'm being honest, I can't really think of much to report on from the first half. Adebayo had a chance, keeper tipped it over. I did feel, and obviously we've said it not on here yet, we did feel Hilton did try and make the game a little bit like a League One sort of game. We're not even gonna lie. Sort of tried to make it all about him. That's what
100%. Like just diving around, asking for anything. Like, be annoying. Like that. He's that type of player. But when we've used him in that position, don't forget he was in the midfield at that time. Yeah. When we put him in that position before, and he's been marking up the midfield, he was doing his job. None of this nonsense. And he was just nonsense all game. He scored, but it weren't like it was a poacher's goal. That's what he's good at. But the rest of the stuff, it was just too much emphasis on that. It took it away from the team, structure and attitude. You know what I mean? It was winding me up. They're a League One team. Yeah, Peterborough. They ain't quite got enough. Yeah. And that they turned the game in. We played like they did. It was scrappy. It was like ball pinging around the box. Like, it was ridiculous. And you could see that Hilton kind of helped that along. He was diving around. He was just, moaning at the ref constantly. Just play your game, mate.
Yeah,
it was so frustrating to watch. And I'm sorry, I liked it. We obviously teams evolve sometimes, and although players are good servants and have been decent for you, at some point you're going to outgrow. Well, with Luton are rapidly, but you're going to outgrow certain players, and they're not going to. That they're where we're looking to go. They're on that level, and that happened in that game. Like he brought the team ethic or whatever he brought it down. He brought it down for me in that game, and I've watched him, hundreds of times. It's not at that. It's not that now. No more. We don't need to be doing that. You see what I'm saying? We had enough quality on that pitch, to beat Peterborough. And the changes, first half, nah. I have seen worse though, but it was like the Danny Hilton show. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely. Something I will say before we move on to the second half is Jerome pulled up as well, didn't he, in the first half? Lansbury come on. Now, a lot of us at the game thought Cornick was coming on. He literally was about to, take his bib off and everything.
Yeah, he should have come on. Like I
was about to say, Nathan Jones. I love the guy, but this game he got decisions wrong for me. Tactical decisions wrong. I'm not even going to lie.
Lansbury's just there. He's just there, isn't he? He's not been exceptional. He's just there. He's just ticking over. That's what he's done all season.
Yep.
I don't know why we need. Jerome's injured. We still got the midfield. Like why? What we'll do is we'll push Hilton up front. The way he was going, and then he just carried it on. He was even worse.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what are you doing? Like Cornick, pace, and that's
Cornick
the way
should have been starting this game.
Yeah, the way he works with Adebayo, come on, like that was that again. It's like, nah, we still don't need to bring on Cornick. You know what I mean? We'll just put Lansbury on there, like one of the 5.5 performers of the fucking season. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And it's just
I remember getting a lot of criticism. I know I keep saying it, but it's true. I remember getting a lot of criticism for saying most disappointing player, Lansbury. People can sit there and go Musgrave. Lansbury's got the experience.
Lansbury's been playing a hell of a lot. He's been playing a hell of a lot more than Musgrave has. Like, Musgrave's going to come good. I'm not even bothered about it. But he made that, and then he scored. But even that, like, just before he scored, he pushed one of their players over. So in the Premier League, that might have been disallowed, So, we were.
Well, you could. You've seen an example of that this season. That you say that in the Premier League. Remember when Kane pushed Thiago Silva? Thiago Silva anyway in the Premier League. So and that got disallowed.
Exactly. So and then the next substitution, who was it?
It was Bradley come on for Hilton.
Yeah. Like Hilton again for Cornick, mate. Like Bradley, we know, like, but he's obviously unfit. He might as well not been there. Like the goal, the equaliser, he was there. If he was fit, he probably would have got his head on that. But he just wasn't. He just weren't in the game at all. And why was we going defensive? It's ridiculous. You've got the confidence.
We need to chase another goal, and we're sitting there defensive.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. It was bizarre, really. He's obviously got one eye on tomorrow's game, but that was just we're not. Just if you've got the confidence in the squad, then I don't know. Like Hilton normally would take him off early in that, or he wouldn't. I don't understand that. I just don't understand it. And then you see what happened. We had lots of possession, and you could see that we had the quality better than they did. We held, we had the control of the ball more, and you could see that level. But it was just the finishing and end product and desire. They had it more, and we were so lucky that they didn't score again. And that Clark Harris, I'd have him at Luton, definitely.
I was going to say,
over Jerome and Hilton, definitely. He's a decent player. I'm surprised we weren't looking at him, but I don't know. I don't know what his attitude's like because you know we try and tend to recruit players who've got a good attitude. If they've got a shitty attitude, and then it doesn't matter. So I'm not sure about that, but he was dangerous.
He got another goal yesterday as well, Clark Harris.
He's a good player. I reckon he'll leave there anyway.
Especially if they
someone will be in for it
when they go down. You know, he will.
Yeah, someone will be in for him. Just wrong to see. You know, in front of that big crowd.
Oh, it's brilliant support. You know, absolutely brilliant.
Disappointing, but on the plus side of that, sometimes you need to kick up the arse like that when you're in and around the playoffs, just to wake you up again. Yeah, you know, because maybe they believe too easily. Oh, that's it now. We ain't got much to do in that. You know, so that's the only thing positive I can kind of take from that. Shay was good actually.
I saw when they scored, and then that chance they had after where they put it over the bar. I saw Shay get proper angry, and rightly so, because how's he get that much space like that?
Yeah.
You know,
so it was disappointing, frustrating more than disappointing. It felt like a defeat. That's how much
it did.
It's ridiculous. You know, you know that. We are where we are because of the way we've been, you know, we're there on merit, mate. So it shouldn't have. We're lucky, really. We were lucky we got a point out of that. We shouldn't have been. We shouldn't have been. We were hanging on.
Can I just say, guys, this sounds a lot like a similar thing that happened when we played Luton. Mm-hmm. This is literally a carbon copy. I'm actually, because I've just watched the highlights. I thought I'm gonna have to see, you know, obviously what you're kind of insinuating with what you're saying. And we took the lead, like you say, played the better stuff, easily the better team on quality.
Yeah.
And then switched off the last 10. They scored in like the 70th or something. And for the next 20 minutes, like I've just watched there, you know, they hit the post and that. They have that chance that you just mentioned where they cross it in and your keeper's going mental because any other striker would have scored.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, carbon copy. We had the last 20 minutes in our game when we went to Peterborough. This would have been back in the first half of the season. The exact same, honestly, I swear to God. And again, what I would say, yeah, I agree with what your dad's saying. No one wants to go to Peterborough and be the team to draw. Ideally, every team in the league would want to go to Peterborough and win. Because the Peterborough, like they've been shocking this season, but at the same time, it's someone's got to draw with them. We're gutted we did it. You know, if we hadn't bottled so many games, we could be second right now. If we hadn't done what we did against Peterborough, against about 5 other teams, we could have been, you know, in that position for automatics now, and we could have less stress and not have to go through this whole ordeal of playing teams. Bang next to us like Luton and then QPR on Friday. And then after that, we've got Borough. So, you know, we've got 3 really hard games now. So I do kind of sympathise why you're all a bit kind of annoyed, really, because I've seen it at Peterborough. We're the exact same. Followed by Cardiff, which was even worse because we actually lost that game. And we deserved to win that one. But, you know, one thing I will say as well, I'll just wrap it up as well, is I think it's the first chance I've seen in those highlights in it. We're a Peterborough one, and the ball gets whipped in, and there must be about, I'm counting 3 Peterborough players just unmarked.
Yeah,
left free, and the fella made contact, and Shea, fair play to the lad, he's pulled off an absolute worldie there in top corner.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what one you're on about. Yeah,
I will say one thing. In previous seasons, we couldn't score a corner if no one was in the box. But this season, that has been a big thing for us. So, you know, the coach and you know, whoever does the defensive work with you will have had to look at us and look at Tom Lees and you know, the likes of Colwell and the big players we've got, and kind of look at that and outline how, you might have got away with that against Peterborough, who, you know, really struggle scoring. I mean, I count about 5 chances that any other player in the league, any other team would have absolutely bagged.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was so lucky. That's why we were lucky. Anyone else
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, although we're not the most clinical team, we would have scored at least 2 or 3 of those. So obviously, that's where obviously you'll have done your work and you'll have done your kind of drills to prevent that. Obviously for tomorrow.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with that. Dad, was there something you wanted to finish off on this game?
No, that's about right. And I was just going to say, like, you got Pearson in there as well. So
he's actually Pearson's injured.
Oh, that's lucky for us,
Yeah, because literally, obviously, I know being Luton fans, you'll know all about him, but I'm not joking. He's been an absolute rock solid tank for us this season.
Yeah, and I know
he wins every header. I genuinely, him and Lees are like literally, him and Lees are like the same player. But like, I can't explain the difference. It's like Pearson's almost got like a more aggressive side where he'll just absolutely go through someone and get the ball, and then Lee seems a bit more kind of like, I think Lee's uses his body a bit more, and then Pearson's quite more feet orientated. I think that's a
he had that partnership with Bradley. Bradley was the more like ball player and stuff like that.
Yeah,
whereas
definitely.
Pearson was, he'd going for the headers, he'd get hurt, and he'd be the more aggressive one in that sense. It basically, it seems like he had a seamless switch from Luton, because it takes some players long to settle in. He settled in straight away from Mark workout. He'd come through with a few goals, and we wanted to keep it. I know Tyler, you weren't too keen on him, but I'm not gonna lie. We wanted to keep him, but we've managed to get replacements, which is good. Lockie is a good replacement. Burke's looking good, but he's a good player, Pearson. He's probably captain material as well, potentially going
definitely
forward.
I think one thing they keep saying in all the pressers for us is every one of our players is a leader, and I think that's a crucial part of what you look at our team in comparison. In fact, do you know what? Look at the pair of our teams in comparison to Fulham and Bournemouth.
Exactly.
You would man for man individually based on quality take the Bournemouth and Fulham players every day. But in a league like this, that stuff don't matter. It's the grit and players that want to play for a club that get you through it. And I've not seen players. Obviously, they're all fruit of the same tree, I guess you could say. Pearson and Lees, but we brought in 7 players this window, this summer window. All of them were free, and it took one or a couple, longer than it maybe should have done to kind of catch on. But for Pearson and Lees, I'm not joking. It was just instant. It was just like we couldn't explain it. It was just like they just slotted in, and not to like big us apart, but we play a very unique style. We like to play nice attacking football. So obviously that transition must be difficult, but he didn't look it. Like Pearson and Cohen, the rest of them just slotted in like they played with us, like forever. And given the fact that Pearson's been in the squad and played 42 times for us this season, obviously it's a massive miss for us. And he might be out for the rest of the season, so that's not good.
Gosh. That's a shame.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through some comments. So this is a comment here by Proud Terriers about Pearson. He says, Pearson is fantastic, throws his body on the line. Such an experienced, brilliant defender who may not be the quickest, but his positioning and know-how of the game is a big advantage. So, as much as I wasn't the biggest fan of him, I do hear what you're saying. He has been very good at Huddersfield, very good. Massive blow to lose him through injury. Yep, definitely. Where do you stand with this one, Brad? Huddersfield have the best goalkeeper in the league. Now, I've seen he's done some very good saves this season in games. I'm not even going to lie. And he has really impressed me. Right.
I'm gonna say it. It's a hard thing to say, really, because sometimes you can come across as being very kind of arrogant. No, but I do hold this opinion. I do think he's the best player best keeper in the league, and I think for you could argue at the minute probably him or Travers, but for some of the keepers in this league it is like by a stretch as well. Like we've not had a good keeper like him in a while. Obviously we had Jonas Lörsel when we came back down, who we'd had in the Prem. We had Camille Grabara and Ryan Schofield. Those two were literal carbon copies of each other. They could save, but they couldn't do the rest of the game. They couldn't be in the right place. They couldn't hold on to the ball. They dropped it. And I feel awful saying that, but keeper's one of the most crucial positions, and they have to get it right. And I genuinely, I just don't think I've ever seen Nichols have a bad game. There might be one that some very critical fans would say was a bad game for him. He pulls off a worldy save every week. Honestly, I genuinely, there are players that we have that you could say are up there with the top, but they're all debates to have. No one's saying O'Brien's the best midfielder in the league. No one's saying, Ward's been one of the better forwards, that Hogg's one of the most experienced. But people are saying Nichols for England, and I genuinely think that he's like a couple appearances in the Prem and he's on it, like seriously.
Yeah.
We've best keeper we have ever had, and we've had some absolute worldies, and this guy is just absolutely just crazily good. He's just so organised, and me and my mates, we've got a running joke. We look at each other every time ball gets crossed in box. We just look at each other and just shrug our shoulders and go, and because honestly, we've got that faith in Nichols that we're just not bothered. I could say all this and then tomorrow he'll drop it and we'll get battered 5-0. But I've said this about 5 times on stream now, and so far we've not bottled it. But yeah, absolute class act. Really professional as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. As I said, like a lot of things I've seen with him, he's made some wicked saves. Like they've even made me go, whoa! Like it's crazy. But yeah, Dad, did you want to say something then, or was that something?
How old is he?
He's 29.
Right. Okay.
So
he's kind of in his prime for a keeper, isn't he?
Yeah, it's all. Do you know what I think? The thing with the keeper is it's all about keeping fit. If they don't get bad injuries, they can go until 36 easily.
Yeah, easily.
So yeah, I think for me, everyone has their own opinions on this squad. There are certain players that play very similar. For me, if we go up, if we somehow manage it, there's about 5 or 6 teams in that battle at the minute. If we're the ones to go up, there's about 4 players that we need to tie down to contract straight away, no questions asked. And if they ask an amount in wage, we give it to them. That's where I'm at anyway, because we're replacing players. You're just gambling so much. I'd rather just keep it as it is. Yeah, if Nichols said to us next season, I want 25k, and we got a 5-year contract, I'd do that, and I'd drive him there myself. Like I just honestly give him whatever he wants. Like literally, that man is just. Never had such faith in a keeper. Like they just thinking of him makes all of us giddy. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this was one of the games actually, which Daniel mentions here, where I saw him do some wicked saves against Birmingham away. I saw him do some wicked saves there.
Yeah, they had a shot. Oh God, he saved it onto the bar. Oh my Jesus.
Yeah, that's the one that stands out that I remember.
Yeah,
from that
and
game.
the Sheffield United one as well, where I think it was Fleck. He had a shot from about 19 yards. It's in that range where a bit of power in the right placement, and it's an absolute worldie. And he gets it, and he scoops it away with his. He saves it, and then he scoops it away with his knees. It's just. Perfect positioning. He's absolutely crazy. But you have to talk about something else, because I could talk about this guy for the next 8 hours. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
That's literally all the comments at the moment. Max says Huddersfield have a great team, even though I dislike them now a little after that scrappy victory versus Hull. Obviously, he's a Hull fan. He's not very happy about that. We know Nichols will continue to be reliable for us, so sign him up to a new contract at all costs.
Absolutely.
You just said, there you go. High Average had a serious clash with Jed Spence. Yeah, I saw bits of that. That was that's not really what you want to see, is it? He went unconscious during his whole treatment. I hope he gets well soon. Why didn't Spence get booked for it? Average isn't available.
I guess on the side of Everidge, we wish him the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for Birmingham, I think they'll just be glad that they're kind of out of sight of relegation now.
Yeah,
because that
every season they do that. Old Birmingham for the past 6 years, or
it's just annoying because we always get peppered up to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
that shows how far we've come.
Yeah, no, definitely. Long shots are more difficult as well. But yeah, I suppose that's really it that we're going to talk about from the Peterborough game. But yeah, disappointing, like we said earlier. You know, for me, it had to be a must-win game. Like I said, I know they were fighting for their lives, but come on, there was other teams that went there, and you know, it's one of them. But obviously, the main reason why we're here and why Brad's here, obviously Huddersfield, obviously Luton take them on away from home. Monday night football on Sky Sports. Luton used to have a terrible record on Sky Sports. Now it's a bit 50-50 now, I'd say. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. If someone goes on to win this, they can go into third. So it's going to be a cracker, I think. I don't want to jinx it, but I do think it will be. But yeah, Brad, how are you feeling going into this one?
Well, I think the first thing to kind of look at as well is, I know you say obviously your form on TV is 50-50. Well, I don't think we have form on TV because we're always on TV, so it may as well just count as normal form. Sky are absolutely in love with us at the minute. But it's the last time we played a team this close to us, we got battered 3-0 by Bournemouth. So
yeah, I remember that.
I mean, we just have to. I think the main thing for us is to get the basics right and allow the rest of it to fall into place. When you don't get the basics right against teams in the top six, the margins are so slim in this league. All it takes is one mistake and it goes from there. And we've seen it. Like I say at Peterborough, you know, it happened. There's been plenty of games that it's happened. I think we just need to get a goal and keep going. Don't sit on it, but keep going. And if you score first, we need to go absolutely all out. There's no point trying to get a point. A point's not really, you know, every point is going to count, but it's not really going to do us any favors if we're playing for just a point. Because if we start playing like that, you know, we start going down that route, you've just got an absolute battle then against QPR on Friday, and then that's a have to win. And I know they've lost 5 of their last 5, but that's like Huddersfield town language for a QPR win. So I am scared, very, very scared. I won't admit it. I haven't admitted it for other games, I mean, but I am scared for this one because we're literally in almost the same form in the last 5, give or take. You've won it. You've drawn a game and said that we lost it. But it's a point separates us, and there's just not much between us. So I'm not confident. I'm more on edge now because we're at that point in the season where there's 6 games left, and if either team has a blip now, it's good night. Like, so yeah, confident but very cautious and nervous, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. To be fair, Dad, obviously I'll go to your thoughts in a second, but yeah, I'm literally the same. You know, like you said, we're very, very similar at this current moment in time, and yeah, I don't know if this was at home, I'd be a lot more confident. Our away form is starting to get slightly all right, but yeah, it's one of them. But Dad, how are you feeling going into this one?
It's one of these games where, you know, we're both pretty much exactly the same, man. you know, we play this, you know, maybe not exactly the same way, but we've both got a squad that fights for each other. You know what I mean? Like you said, you've got leaders on the pitch. We've got a couple of players like that. We've got players who are hungry. They know they're good enough to get in the playoffs. It's going to be. I think.
I think it's freezing, by the way, a little bit. Oh, is he there?
They've gone.
You there? I can hear you. Oh, I think he's
Hello?
froze out a little bit. Hello, you all right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you was
Yeah,
freezing.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, you're a bit laggy now, I think.
Where did you listen to?
So you were saying how we're very similar. You know, we've got leaders as well. You know, we've got players that are hungry, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I'll tell you one thing though. I do feel slightly more confident knowing that Pearson's not playing.
Yeah,
I think he'll know how we play. He played in that system. You know, he knows that the lads are that he's not going to be on the pitch to kind of influence them in that respect.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean there. 100%.
Who to replace him, and if you've got faith in him, that could be a big, issue. Who have you got to replace Pearson?
I mean, it's a big loss, but I kind of say, like we've stressed, depth's been a strong point. So I'm not too worried, but it's one of them where it's like the guy that's replacing him's just come back from injury. So it's Levi Colwell. I'm sure you've heard a lot about him.
Yeah.
A lot of players get overhyped and get sold dreams by people on YouTube and being made out to be the next big thing. But where I stand, I do think Colwell's going to go all the way. He really does have a lot in his game, but he's very reliable. In fact, it's hard to say bad things about him. I guess he had one little bad thing in the week against Millwall when we played them a couple of weeks back, but aside from that, he's been absolutely solid. The reason he's been not in the squad is due to injury. So obviously, an injured player replacing an injured player, it's just hopefully now he's fully match fit, and if he is, I can be as confident as I am ever going to be. To be fair, he can use both feet. He can drive us forward. He's really quick. So it's. I'm not. Pearson's a miss, but at the same time, it's not the one player we could do. I don't know how to word it. Pearson's a player we can afford to get injured. It sounds awful saying it like that, but instead of the keeper, because that'd be a big issue, or instead of Danny Ward. So if someone has to get injured, maybe in a position like centre half where we've got cover, whereas maybe like a midfielder like O'Brien, you forget what I'm saying. It's a position where we've got cover. Others we haven't, and not to the same quality. I'm not happy he's injured by any stretch. I'm actually gutted for the lad because he's had a brilliant season. I would have liked to have seen him played in the playoffs and at Wembley if we got there, but these things happen. Like I say, I'm not glad he's injured. I don't know if I worded that right, but I'm just glad we've got cover. And it's not in a position, like I say, the keeper would be the big one. If the keeper got injured or Danny Ward got injured, that'd just be, we'd be in tears. Like, it's just, we just don't need it. So, yeah, it's gutting, but we have got cover, and I've got faith in Colwell and Tom Lees.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I totally, I understand what you're saying, especially the form the keeper's been on as well. That would be, yeah, that would be mental. But I'm going to go through some
Crazy.
comments before we get into the next sort of segment, sort of thing. Big up Tyler, big one tomorrow for the town, absolutely. Daniel says, T, are you going? Yes, I am. All right, lads, says Inside Luton, how's it going? Sorry. Yeah, it's going good, mate. Hope you're well. I agree, but Truman in goal could lose us points. But Troy's back. Well, don't get started on that Troy Deeney guy. You know what I mean? Sky TV is only shit. Yep, it is awful. It is awful. But Ollie's prediction, obviously Birmingham fan, he has gone with a 2-1 to Luton. So there you go. Inside Luton says, honestly, I'll take a draw because a draw is giving us a point and practically taking 2 off Huddersfield. That's true. I'd say it'd be 2-1 Luton though. So 2-1 so far we've got. Obviously, we'll get into score predictions later ourselves. It will be Colwill and Lees in middle. Says Proud Terriers. That is what he reckons. Davies from Forest, wind up Blues fan. All right, I won't say the rest of that in that little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting one. And I suppose the next thing we'll get into really is the lineups. Obviously, Brad, I'll let you go first with how you think it will go for you guys.
Sure. Well, we've been a bit. I mean, first half of the season it was the 3-4-3. Since kind of like Christmas time, we've ranged from 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1. We've played a lot of different stuff, to be honest. What I'd like to see us go with, and what I think we possibly could go with, would be a 4-3-3. It's probably the best of all worlds because you've got a bit of width, but at the same time, the midfield ain't going to get overloaded. Especially, it's like, you say on Tuesday against Peterborough, scrappy game. The reason it's a scrappy game is because Luton are a team that get dug in and dig deep and kind of get stuck in. Peterborough are going to be the same on that day for reasons of being relegated, but like I said, this is going to be a scrappy game, so we can't get overloaded in the middle, because you get overloaded in the middle against a team like Luton, it all just goes. Then you're going to get the wide players involved, and then by the time we've got back, it's going to be like a 5-on-3 with the attacking players. And we've had a bio there. It's just it's difficulties we could avoid. Let's say 4-3-3. I think we'll go with, starting from the back. It'll be Nichols. I think it'll be Toffolo at left back, who's been pretty good. Then it'll be Colwell, and then right centre half will be Lees. Right back, who knows? It could be Pippa or it could be Turton. Me at this stage, I actually pick Turton. Hi, Pat and Owen. And it would be Hogg, and it'd be O'Brien and Russell, hopefully. Because that gives us a bit of height. The issue was before we had a midfield with no height, and that's all right to play against teams that don't play with height. But then when you play like a Borough or a Birmingham, you just get bullied in the middle, and it's just not what. It just doesn't help you establish the kind of right attacking moves you want if you can't even get the ball down on the floor. So hopefully it's those three, and then the front three. Is up for constant debate, really. It's always Ward and Sorba, but the left wing spot's always a bit of a mismatch. I'll tell you what I would go with. I'm hoping it's going to be Ward, who's been phenomenal so far this season, especially since he got out of his blip. So is Sorba. So Sorba on the right, Ward up top, and left wing. I'd actually give this for this game. I'd actually give it to Daniel Sinani, I think. If not, I'd give it to Karoma. I wouldn't start Holmes. He's been really off boil recently. But there you go. It'll be something along those lines, I'm guessing. It just all it all depends on what route he takes. You know, sometimes he started better players, sometimes he benches them. You know, give us an option off the bench kind of thing. But the main thing for me is to have Sorba on because we need him for the set pieces. His dead ball delivery is absolutely beautiful. So Senani, to be fair, so we've got the pair of them on. We've got an in-swinger and obviously the opposite on the opposite side. 2 in-swingers would be perfect, really, for the corners especially. So hope it's something like that. It's likely to be something like that.
Fair enough. I'm just going to go through this comment before we obviously go through our lineup that we would go with. Ollie says, Luton can't win, Blues, tear. And he says, only joking, you won us before. I think the last time we beat Birmingham was when there was no fans, when Dan Potts scored. I remember us actually watching that, didn't we? Watch that together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our lineup. Now, usually I do it on the screen, but today I'll just leave it. We'll just see what we'll go with. Would you go back to the 3-5-2, Dad?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we need to go back to that after that game.
Yeah, it's our established formation, really. You know what
exactly.
I mean? So can't see us deferring from that suddenly.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Goalkeeper, we all know it's going to be Shea.
Yeah.
You know, unless he magically gets injured, touch wood, he doesn't. And then the right wing back, obviously we've got a few options. I would probably return Bree there.
Yeah, absolutely. You should definitely go back to, certain players are established in that team and they need to be in that team where they're playing because Bree and Amari Bell in their positions have been brilliant and they're both, Bree's deliveries, but he's a quality player and Bell's looking better every game. He gets forward more on that left, we haven't really had that since, and he's probably not on that level, but we haven't really had that since like James Justin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They have to start, definitely. And then obviously the 3 centre backs.
Questionable, by the way, just so you know, they need to change one to will not play. One of them's actually Osho on there. The other one's Burke. He might still be questionable, but yeah, just thought I'd just tell you that one. Just in case. Yeah, left wing back Bell as well. 3 centre backs. I would go. If Burke's available, I'd put him on the right sort of side. I'd put Naismith on the left sort of side, and then through the middle, I'd probably go Lockyer. Now, the reason I don't say Bradley, like we mentioned earlier, I don't think he's fully fit, to be honest. But I wouldn't mind it. Even though I don't think this will be like this in the game. If we are in a good position, I'm not saying we can't be, but just, pretty comfortable, which I don't think we will be, then maybe. But I don't know otherwise, to be honest.
But yeah, I think this is we know he's a good player, captain and that, but I think this game you can't be throwing him in. If you threw him in against Peterborough and what that happened, then you know what I'm saying? Like, how fit has he got between that and now? You know what I'm saying? Like, put him on the bench. Like say if we are doing well, then bring him on to get some minutes. But other than that, no, definitely not. Naismith will start, quality player. Been player of the season potentially. Has to start. Lockyer's decent. I feel he'll start, and then as I say, if Burke's fit. I don't want to see Kyoso at the back. I do rate him, but again, we need that.
Not in this game. Yeah.
I don't want to see Bree put in centre back either.
No,
not this go game. Back to what the best we can. Naismith's available, Lockyer's available. We know that, and then hopefully, if Burke ain't available, then potentially it will be Bradley. But make sure they're on point. You've got them on point, so they're not, so they can cover for him if they need to or whatever. Don't be tinking around with it. I think they should be learning out. And normally we do bounce back if that felt like a defeat, and with defeats we normally 100%. Bounce back. So, but
definitely,
so that would be defence. 100%.
Yeah, just before we move on to the midfield, Taylor makes a very good point here. I totally agree. He says 3-5-2 works. Why change it?
Exactly.
It's not going to. But yeah, Brad, you got a question for you. When was the last time Birmingham won Huddersfield? I think you meant to put against. And who scored for Blues that day? Because I don't know. Do you remember that by any chance?
I'm going to search that up now, actually. But from where my memory goes, it would have been in the promotion season under David Wagner, when we pulled a little bit of a stunt in changing. Well, I think it was all 11 of the starting 11. We basically put the B team out. Shea Adams got sent off, I think, and they had a penalty saved and scored another penalty. And Blackburn were kicking off because they were 21st at the time, and because we changed so many, it gave Birmingham 3 points. So they were kicking off saying that we should have been fined. So obviously it meant that they'd, well, at the end it got them relegated. So it was quite funny, really. But yeah, I think it was at St Andrews. Yeah, it'll have been 2017.
Oh, right. Quite a long while away. I wish we had a sort of record like that against Birmingham. You know what I mean? But
I think it was. Yeah, we won this season. We drew at home. Last season we drew at home, and did we lose last season? Actually, I'm not sure. You guys carry on, and I'll have a quick look at this, and I'll come back with
an answer. Go through this comment before we go into the midfield. This is about Bradley, and well, I think it is anyway. And if it is, I don't disagree with this as well by Taylor. He says, I feel as if he might not start till next season. If you look, the games now are massive. You know,
I feel like he'll still have a part to play personally, especially if we do make the playoffs. You know what I mean? He's a club captain. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't be, you know, he hasn't missed like half a season. He's missed like a month and a half or something. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, actually, I think we might see him potentially against Blackpool.
Yeah. If he gets some minutes and stuff like that, yeah. But I don't think he'll be out for the season.
No,
it's too important.
It's just the starting, really. He thinks he'll play 100%, just not start.
Yeah.
I agree with that. To be fair,
right. So, sorry, mate. Just a quick one. It was in the lockdown season. So last season they beat us 2-1 at home. But obviously the last time was with fans was the one I went to. Yeah, back in 2017, 2-0. With Shea Adams getting a red. So yeah. Carry on, Darren.
There you go, Ollie. There's that for you. But yeah, we'll move on to midfield now. I would be dropping Ruddock, as simple as that. Love the guy, but he just slows the play down. Like, let's not take the mick now. Definitely start Campbell. You know, he's one of the first names on the team sheet. You know, so definitely be starting him. Obviously, Clark, he's out. What midfield would you go with, Daddy?
Yeah, I'll put right. Yeah, absolutely. He's a terrier. He's a fighter. He'll be fighting to win the ball in midfield, 100%. And he's just getting better every game. He's you know, we need to keep up. Well, we've only just signed him, so we should be cool. But Ruddock, yeah, a bit laxy daisy. Like, we just need more bite in that midfield.
Yeah,
we lack that. You know, you can't expect Campbell to do all the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, so yeah. I would drop. I think Snodgrass should be fit now.
Yeah,
and he could be immense, and like, he's got that experience. He's got good quality. You know what I'm saying?
You saw the impact when he come on against Millwall. You know, done that
exactly. Yeah, straight away. Yeah, right. You know, free kick. They didn't deal with it properly. You know.
Could have got another assist after that as well.
Yeah. He's definitely got that quality, and he's hungry, and he likes the philosophy. You know, he said he had like quite a few offers, but as soon as he spoke to the manager, he was like, yeah, you know. And I think he's fit enough now. And I think on the last show that we need to be starting him. If he's fit, he needs to be starting. Otherwise, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What
you
you
did
want
say
to?
that.
Yeah. So I feel like potentially he might start this game, get his first start. So him and Campbell, that's already like a dangerous midfield. It's a shame Clark's out.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what he's going to go. It depends how worried he is about the midfield area, but he could potentially go for, Snodgrass, Campbell, and Lansbury. Because Lansbury, all right, he's again, but maybe they'll just be like, just mop up, mate, just mop up. Do you know what I mean? Just play the simple passes and that, and we'll do the other work. I don't know, but I'd be starting Snodgrass, Campbell, and then I don't know about Lansbury myself.
Berry?
I'd probably Berry for me, yeah. If he's fit,
yeah,
he's a dangerous player. Gets in the box. He scores vital goals. He's the hungriest one. You know what I mean? Like out of, you could say, like them League 2, League 1 players like Hilton, Glenn Ray, Elliot Lee, who else?
Don't know.
He's on
the back now.
he's caught. Out of the midfield areas, banging. Like he's got an excellent ratio, and he's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah,
I'd start him if he's fit. Start him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that midfield. Totally agree with it. But yeah, just this point, obviously, as I say, I don't want to rip into Ruddock, but because he's been brilliant servant at the club. But yeah, I totally agree with this. Again, he does pointless shit and slows our play down or any chance of attacking. I totally agree with that. I do, honestly. So
sometimes I think he's trying to prove shit. You know what I mean? Because he will deliberately hold on to the ball. Like if we're defending our penalty area or playing it across the box and that, he'll be like, no, I'm gonna watch me get out of this situation. And yeah, he does do it sometimes, but sometimes he doesn't, and everyone's like, the other players are like, just pass it, innit? You know what I mean? Like he's trying to prove. Yeah, no, I've gone through all the leagues. I'm proving the level that I'm at. Sometimes he's just too. He's thinking on the ball. He's like, yeah, where am I going to pass it? Oh, I've been tackled. You know what I mean? Like that extra thinking. You got to be quicker the higher up you go. You know what I mean? Them decisions, quicker decisions. You see it in the Premier League day in, day out. Where did it? I didn't see that pass coming. You know what I mean? Like that. Obviously, got to be at a certain level, but you can still make them decisions. The other players are doing it, but he just seems a bit slow on that kind of, and just bench him.
exactly.
Give him, make him work harder for it. We've been saying it all season. He gets it too easy. Yeah. The amount of games he starts.
And you made a good point to me yesterday when we was talking on the phone about he was sort of as much as I said he's been a good servant in that, he was basically debating whether to leave in whenever it was last season or summer
to try a different got a bigger club or try a new challenge on that. Like, well, if you can't do it at Luton, then you'd be a disappointment at them clubs. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love the guy, but he ain't been consistent enough on that level, pushing up. Other players have done it. They've come in, they've done it. Campbell, Adebayo, even, you know what I'm saying? Berry, they're stepping up. And he's not, and he should be doing that. So no, I'll be benching him, and Snodgrass will be straight in there. Like he's surely he's got the potential to, score that special goal or just the free kick out of nowhere and that, and utilize that. So yeah, 100% he'll be starting, and then let's move on to the front two.
Yeah, before we do that, I'll just get in some more comments. I agree with this, especially starting on getting the time on the bench. Taylor says Thorpe needs to get started eased into our team. Again, agree with that. I've been saying that for ages, and I'm sure you're the same on that, Dad.
Kind of, but then there's other players ahead of him that we signed should be getting eased into the team. Mendes Gomez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's very true. Yeah, player I've rated very highly.
When we signed him, like people were more excited about him than Adebayo. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's true. That's true.
Hasn't. And
Did
that's
you
down
get?
to
Is he the Portuguese lad that came from League Two?
Yeah,
Spanish.
Yeah.
Right. I heard great things about him, and obviously, like you say, he's just
Come from
used. Yeah.
Who was it?
Crawley,
Morecambe, wasn't it? Was it
Morecambe?
I think it was. Morecambe.
Yeah. He got him promoted. But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and like, but that's because of the system we play. Because we play 3-5. He's more of a left midfielder. You know, he's not defensive enough to play in Bell's position. You know, so that's why. Same Musgrave, you know, maybe, you know, he's I've seen him like at the, you know, YouTube and all that, you know, but I've seen the potential he's got, but he's not getting enough games. So I thought we signed later on, and he looked good in, what was it, the one game, the FA Cup
Cambridge,
game? Was it
in the FA Cup?
Cambridge? Yeah, he's definitely got ability, but I feel he probably needs to go out on loan and then come back, you know. So
fair enough. Yeah,
potential going forward. Yeah, you know, if we get rid of Lansbury. You know, you know, whoever we get rid of, obviously he's still going to be at the club because we didn't sign him for nothing. There were big clubs looking at him as well. So
yeah, exactly, like Premier League clubs as well. So yeah, totally agree with that. You got another question for you, Brad, by the Birmingham fan. He's loving asking you these questions. He says, "What player from Birmingham would you sign?" First of all,
I guess it depends on, obviously, looking at loans and permanent players. A player I would have at Town, given that we stayed in this league.
I hope you say someone I don't like. I hope you don't say someone.
Possibly Lyle Taylor.
Oh
no. I guess it all depends. I do quite like Onel Hernandez. Wingers aren't something we need, but maybe chance him in a system like ours. Obviously, he's played attacking football at Norwich and it's worked. Maybe the young lad that I think is it Justin James or Jordan James? There's a young lad in the middle that I'm hearing good things about, and Birmingham City have produced good talent before, so maybe take a chance on him. If I was to give them a player, the next part of that question, I would obviously I wouldn't want it to be anyone too first team, because you know, if we don't get promoted and if we don't end up being in that position, then we're giving it to a rival in the league, not like a rival right there's a derby or all, but like, you know, another team that we're going to play against.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to get into good form with this player, then play us and batter us. I'd probably give them the likes of maybe Ryan Schofield, our backup keeper on loan, or our third backup keeper on loan. He needs to get out on loan. Or the likes of possibly one of the younger lads, maybe like Danny Grant, a couple of wingers like that. You know, there are players there that could benefit out on loan in the Championship, but if we're in the Championship, it's kind of going against us a bit as well, so it's a difficult one.
Yeah, no, fair enough. This is about Ruddock, and I just agree with pretty much everything Taylor says at this point. He says he wants to prove he's a strong player and wants to hold up play of his strength. Again, I agree with that. Dad, where do you stand on that? Oh, is he there?
Hello.
Where do you stand with this? Another thing I agree with Taylor on. He says he wants to prove, this is about Ruddock, he wants to prove he's a strong player and wants to hold up play with his strength. Is there?
Who's this?
This is what Taylor says about Ruddock.
Oh, Ruddock. Yeah, he does. But he needs to release the ball and quicker and things like that, because what he's used to in League One and League Two, the players, he was stronger than a lot of players, but now in the Championship, coming to the Premier League, he's not. Do you know what I mean? He's not. He's finding that he's getting knocked off the ball. People are wrestling with the ball. You know what I'm saying? He needs to think about that a little bit more. Add the more cleverness into his game, because that's what happens. Players are stronger. The higher you go, the stronger they are.
Exactly.
So you're just going to be fighting a losing battle, basically, because if you was that strong already, you would already be at that level. You'd already be playing in the Premier League, the top Championship teams. You would have been there already. You know what I mean? It ain't like he's young.
Yeah.
So
no, exactly.
he needs to, develop his game more. Other players do it. They change their positions or whatever, or they change up the way they play. You notice it. He should play to his strengths, or to a certain extent, but then like work on your other stuff. If that's all you've got, you ain't going to get higher than that level. It's as simple as that.
No,
and eventually it'll catch up with you. And the club, like I was saying to you before, the club will move further than you. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Hilton situation, the club's obviously well ahead of him now.
Yeah,
and then
even the likes of Glenn Ray as well.
Yeah, and that's what will happen. Because when he was arming and ahhing about a contract, I weren't like that. I like him, obviously, but I weren't like, oh, if he doesn't sign, that's it, we're fucked.
Yeah,
I was like, we'll replace him. We've already got people on. You know what Luton's like? They've got 4 people on the list already to replace probably every single player. They do that. They do that. So I weren't that bothered. So yeah. So are you playing up front?
Yeah. Obviously, we'll do that quick, and then we'll get into some more comments. Then do score predictions. But up front, I think it's got to be Adebayo and Cornick. If I'm being totally honest, what other options are there? Obviously Jerome's out now. It looks like.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be out for the season now. I don't think he'll play for Luton.
I
don't think he'll play for Luton again.
After the other day, definitely not. So it's got to be Adebayo and Cornick. And I saw Cornick firsthand because I was actually, proper near the players, Peterborough away. He looked very fuming. He did whisper something to Potts, and rightly so. He should be starting this game for me. At least if he's not starting, he should be coming on.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, I've no idea why he wasn't starting for you on Tuesday. When I've looked and followed Luton in the past and looked at players before Adebayo joined, looking at players I feared, the running themes, the running players that I always looked at with kind of thinking, I know that these players are good. The Anya Dienma, I've heard great things about him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know players obviously before and after, but Cornick was the one that I always used to look at and go, but let's hope he's not playing. So I'm struggling to see why he wasn't playing for you starting on Tuesday. It made more sense, especially against a team like Peterborough. It would have run riot, to be honest. But
yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly, and that's what I mean. I said that. Yeah, I said that on the last show. Like, we need for his pace, go for it, play our best players. I said it is Peterborough, and they'll be looking to make it scrappy and this, that, and the other, and we just didn't. We can't be doing that. That's a lesson learned anyway. But yeah, absolutely, Cornick and Adebayo.
He's got 10 goals this season, and him and Adebayo got 25 between them.
Yeah, and it's a playoff game. You have to start your best strikers to give you the best opportunity. They have to be starting. Yeah.
But yeah, Dad, you're getting a respect, I suppose, is the word here. He says, Dad makes excellent point about Pelly. Look at Drewsbury, all the passes he made in his work rate. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And let's big up Drewsbury, by the way. He scored today for Leicester.
Winning goal.
In the end, it was the winning goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Decent, a very good player.
Yeah.
Very good player.
Quality player. He's really shined this season, which, you love to see. Taylor says, I want us to play a 5-2-3, get at least Fred or Carlos on the left and Cornick on the right. I mean, I wouldn't be fussed if we're to do that in a friendly next season. Give that a go. Obviously, this season, the reason why I don't say this season is I feel 3-5-2 is our best one right now, and I don't want to change it around, especially when we're in this playoff battle. So that's the only reason I don't say now. But yeah, I'd love to definitely see it, give it an experiment, see how it goes. But yeah, I definitely want to see more of Mendes Gomez, especially next season, and even Fred, and obviously Cornick. We know he most likely will anyway. So yeah, there you go. But what do you think of that, Dad? 5-2-3. When would you really want to see
I
that?
get what you're saying, but again, I'm going to agree with you on that. We can't be, we're not going to be
At the end of the
changing
day,
that.
we're all at a stage now where we all know. Sorry to interrupt, Darren, but we're all at a stage now where we all know what works for each other. And
Exactly.
if you wanted to try this in September, then that'd have been fine. I don't know about you guys, but I never really looked at Luton as a relegation favourite for this season.
No, definitely not.
I could think of about 5 or 6 teams that were down there that would have easily finished below. And look at the table, there's almost about 15, 16 more. So if you wanted to try that in September and October, that would have been the perfect time. But now, it's like Darren just said, you don't start your players like no one's unbeatable and no one is a rollover. I mean, even Peterborough have taken 2 points off us this season, 2 points off you. Just out of those 2 games, that's 4 points. Obviously that's 2 points that we could have had, 2 points that you could have had. Now isn't the time for anyone, unless you're in that position, like where you're. An example would be. Let's have a quick look now. Just load the table up. Unless you're one of them teams, like let's say. West Brom to Hull, they're the teams that could try something now, and see if it works. Because they're not going to go up, but they're definitely not going down either. But for a team, both of us have a good shot at making a do of this, and getting it in the legs and then Wembley. So if you try something like this now and then you get battered tomorrow 4-0, confidence is low. And then, to be honest, if anyone loses by more than 3 goals at this stage, I genuinely think that's it, they're done. Because by the time you've got the confidence back and established, any kind of forward thinking again, it's going to be the end of the season. I don't know about you guys, but we haven't got a kind running, but we haven't got the worst running. It's balanced. I wouldn't like to
say we're the same, to be fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see us tomorrow night go and play. I don't know, a 5-3-2 like what you tried on Tuesday night. I'd be looking at it and going, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. I agree with what you're saying, obviously. Taylor makes a good point. Cornick on the right, Carlton on the left. Not the right time. It's not the right time. It's not the right move at this stage in the season. If you played like that since October and it worked, then I'd be afraid of how that could work out against us. But if you played that tomorrow night, I'd probably sit here and just start chuckling to myself. Because I think, well, if they can't beat Peterborough playing that system, how are they going to give us a go? And that's not even arrogant from us because we're fourth. We can afford to have that kind of, you can afford to have that look on the game. We kind of have that kind of that status at the minute. I'm not saying anyone's unbeatable, but we'd look at that obviously with a lot less fear than obviously the 3-5-2 with the right players in. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. As I said, if I'm to see that, like we've all basically said, pre-season or earlier on, or like you said, Brad, with a team that had, got nothing to play for. So yeah, that's where we stand on that. Ollie comes in with another question, but this time for all of us. Would you sign Troy Deeney and always play him, or sign Hernandez and only play him in cups? Well, obviously, mine and my dad's thoughts on Troy Deeney. So we're signing Hernandez and only playing him in cups.
Yeah, I'm joining you on that one.
Didn't even need to, get my dad to
no
answer
debate.
that one.
Yeah, I think it's not the best. It's not the best question to ask Luton fans, is it?
Yeah.
It's like asking me if I'd want Chris Wood to play for Town back in the promotion team. It's just not. Oh God.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, that is our lineup that we'd go with. So I'll go through it again. So we have said Shane goal, of course. Bell left wing back, Bree right wing back. Defence, we went with the same. So obviously that's Naismith on the left side of centre back, Lockyer through the middle, and then who was it? Burke, if he's available, on the right side of centre back. And then the midfield, we went with Campbell, Snodgrass, and Berry. And then 2 up top, we had Cornick and Adebayo. Yeah, exactly, Taylor. What Watford legend, you know what I mean? If they want to even think it. But anyway, it's that time we're going to do you know what I mean? Score predictions. Now, obviously, like we said, massive game for both teams. Obviously, playoff battle. If someone goes on to win this, they can, you know, as it says up there in the title, 3rd place up for grabs. And it is tomorrow night. Brad, I'm gonna start off with you. Obviously, you're the guest here. How do you see this one going?
I will say something. I think tomorrow night the bookies are going to have an absolute field day, but I'm going to go with a 3-2 Town win. I think we're going to scrape this. And by scrape, I mean like literally drag ourselves over the line. I'm going to back Adebayo and Cornick to score.
Okay.
Because I can just see that written all over. Adebayo probably from a corner or probably just a header. He's massive at the end of the day.
Very good.
He's 6'4". There's just not many players. We've got 6'2", 6'3" defenders, but 6'4". You know, he's got an extra inch, and I bet being an attacker, he can jump.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. I just don't like seeing a striker that big. 6'4" and above, it's kind of territory where you just look and think it just creates that extra level of fear. Cornick, I know the level of kind of skill he plays at. I know his finishing is definitely a good attribute. His movement,
he's improved a lot on that last season.
His movement, he has. You're right. His movement on the ball, he's very good. I've seen that. He's quite agile as well. That's something I don't like in a player. Don't like players dancing through our defenders because it makes me panic, and then we all know what happens once you get in the box. It's kind of free game there. For us, I'm gonna back. I would have backed Pearson if he were playing because that would have been kind of writing on the wall situation, but he's not. So
as well, to be fair,
I'm gonna back Danny Ward to get one. That makes sense. I'm gonna back Sorba Thomas to get one. I'm going to back a wild card, and that's our right back, Ollie Turton, to get one. He's not scored yet this season. I think he's the only player in the team who hasn't scored this season. So it'd be nice for him to get a goal. When I mentioned the one player that took a while to catch up, that was Ollie Turton. But, you know, he's solid now. Yeah, it sounds a bit patronising, really, but we're all really massively grateful and proud of kind of how he's performing now. Because it was hard to look at certain players' performances, Turton included, with positivity, without being too harsh. But when there's certain players that aren't doing what they could be doing, you have to point it out. But I'm really happy that now we're in a situation where everyone's doing the bit, everyone's contributing, and everyone's playing with confidence. Obviously, we had that recent blip, bounce back last Friday. So we've had the longest wait and time to overthink about this game. But like I say, I'm not confident, but I'm quite nervous for this one. But I think we'll I think it'll probably be a late winner, like a 90th minute. And I'm going to go with a 3-2 Town.
Fair enough. Just this quick one. If you hate Watford, stand up. You know what I mean? I'll be standing up right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll go on to my prediction next because I did obviously do championship shows. Some of you might know that on Perry Sports' channel. And yeah, I got asked obviously about this game, previewed this in the Fulham game. So I've done it earlier. I think it's going to be a very close game, of course. Like I said, both teams battling for the playoffs. I am the same as Brad, to be fair. I am nervous, but not at the same time, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to go over 2-1 Luton win. I think it's going to be one of them. As for goal scorers, I'm going to go Adebayo, and do you know what? I'm going to go Alan Campbell. I think Campbell's going to score. away. There has been, I think he done it against Stoke. I know he definitely done it against Reading away. I remember going to that one. But yeah, I'm going to go for them. As for goal scorers, as for Huddersfield, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go. Who am I going to go with? That is. I go Toffolo. I think I said his name right. Hopefully, I did.
Toffolo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him to score. So, yeah, hopefully we can get that away win for Luton's sake. But, Dad, how do you see this one going?
It's going to be tight, man. It is. And I think that Luton will be looking to bounce back. But I think Huddersfield, they know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? They're not up there for no reason. You know, they're at home. They've got deep, you know, they will work hard just the way we do. They're not going to just roll over. We're not going to turn up there and smash them up unless we play. Every single player plays like they haven't played all season. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. It's going to be close. We've got decent quality. You know, we're very dangerous. And I do feel we'll score, but I just feel that Huddersfield are going to hold us out. You know what I mean? I just feel that it's going to be a draw. It's not ideal for both teams, but it's not the end of the world either. Do you know what I'm saying? And
True.
I just feel that's going to be the result. And I think a little bit of that as well. I do think, I don't know, did you have the same manager when you played this earlier in the season with a 0-0 draw?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they come and they come to defend really. Do you know what I mean? They knew Luton were dangerous. I just felt like they come for the point. They didn't want to. They were looking to counter attack or whatever, but at their own ground, obviously they're going to be more confident in that. And I think that we'll just cancel each other out. I just think they've got that spirit like we have, and I think, after the result against Peterborough, we're not expected to go to Huddersfield and smash them up because it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I just think it'd be too cagey. I think it'd be like 0-0 at half time, something like that, and then or one. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, and then we'll look ahead to the remaining games after that, because that ain't the end of the worst result in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? The most dangerous team at the moment up for is not on Forest. And we've got next at home.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, I think he's gone again. Oh yeah, I definitely think he has gone. I think he has gone again. I'm just going to try and do this, see if this makes a difference. Oh, no, he has fully gone now. He's fully gone. He'll be back in a second. But yeah, I'll just go back to this comment by Inside Luton. He says, honestly, I'll take a draw because a draw is giving us a point and practically taking 2 off Huddersfield. You make a very good point with that. Like I said, it's a very good side. But yeah, I'll just see if he comes back, and then I'll say that comment to him. Here he is. Hello, is it better now?
Yeah, it's my internet, mate. I can see it on my phone. It's dropping out.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back to this comment made earlier by Inside Luton, and it sort of relates to what you just said about the draw. He says, honestly, I'll take a draw because a draw is giving us a point and practically taking 2 off Huddersfield.
Well, it's not so much that, both of us probably were thinking, maybe we can sneak for automatic, but Bournemouth, I think they've just got too big a squad. The teams that we got to watch out for, the team is not in the Forest, but their 2 games in hand are against Fulham and Bournemouth. Yeah. So I'm not that worried about it, because I've checked that out. And Fulham, I don't know when their game is, but Fulham, they got beaten with Coventry. you know, they found it very, very, very difficult. So there's no way they're getting 6 points from them games anyway. You know, they might win one of them. They might, you know, but so they haven't got there. They're not guaranteed them 6 points by a long stretch of the imagination. So it wouldn't be the worst for us. I mean, if even if one of us won, you know, we've both got difficult games next. We could lose to Forest. You could lose to QPR. It's not. It will still be close together. So a point, I'll be happy with a point. We're still there. I do think that's going to happen. I don't know how Huddersfield fans will react if you did lose, but I know Luton fans will be like, "That's it. Now we're done." You know, but it's not. It's not.
It's a hard running, and I totally agree with what you're saying with the point. But I think it's the principle in which we get the point. I think the massive thing for me is it going to be, because the worst thing is, and we've done it so many times this season, guys, like literally, Peterborough was the example, Cardiff was the example. We go ahead, we sit on the lead, and we concede in the late moments of the game. If it's like that, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be gutted, because if we've dominated the game, had about 15 chances and only scored one, and then decided to defend for the last 15 minutes, you've got Cornick and Adebayo, you bring on a couple of other lads, and they make a push for it, and you nick a point at last hurdle, we're all going to be fuming, because it's not like we can't say you don't deserve it because we haven't finished his chances, but at the same time, when you're that on top of the game, you know, with the football that you're playing, and don't take all three, it's gutting. So if it's an even game and both teams get stuck in and play the good stuff that everyone knows that we're both capable of, and we draw that way, I'll be happy with that, because I can kind of look at that and go, we've played our best, Luton's played their best. When, you know, it's cancelled each other out, we've both got a point. You know, I'm not going to go home annoyed, knowing that two teams have given, but they're all.
That's.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah, that's personally what I think will happen. That's what I think. I think that's what will happen. They'll both show their quality and why they should be up there, because everyone's like, well, how are Huddersfield up there? How are Luton up? Do you know what I mean? Like, compared, Forest should be up there.
It just winds me up, though, because it's all these big teams thinking that they're given a God-given right to get promoted because they used to be good. It's like, well,
exactly.
Look, exactly. It's like the point you made about that. That was it, Ruddock or that lad?
Yeah, Ruddock.
Yeah. If they were good enough, they'd be there anyway. If he was good enough to be in the Prem, he'd be there with or without Luton. If the big teams were good enough, they'd be up there without having to go in the playoffs. It's like you said, they've been the automatics and winning it. So they can't be a million miles ahead if they're not. Yeah, Forest have won their last 5. Yeah, Sheffield United before their little blip were doing good. Same with Blackburn.
That's the media bubble and stuff, you know.
Honestly, it's like look at us. We have the best fan base. We deserve to go up. It's like, well, we have the highest attendance. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, we went up and beat Man United and absolutely had them to bits. And no, go on, mate. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we're very, very similar. And that's what I feel. You know, I just feel we can help each other out, and hopefully, if we do make the playoffs, we don't get each other, because the final, anyone can win that. Don't matter. I said to Tyler, even if we had Fulham in the final, you know, Bournemouth in the final, obviously they're not in it, but we could be anything can happen in the final. Them 2 games before that, and I wouldn't want to get Huddersfield in them games, if that makes sense. Like,
the only team we can get in the final that I would be not overly confident, but just based off superstition in the past, that I'd be more happy with would be Sheffield United, because we've already beaten them at Wembley once. In the League One playoff final, we've got a habit of winning at Wembley. That's just a thing. Sheffield United really haven't. So if we're going down to the clutching at straws, if I had to pick a team, you know, out of random now, I'd take them. But it's not going to be as cut and dry as that, like you say, and anyone could beat anyone on the given day. You know, it'd be the funniest thing ever if Forest, the team that's playing the best out of all of us, got the team in 6, got the obviously the team in 6th, and then the team in 5th went up again, because it's happened about how many times the team in 3rd never goes up.
Exactly.
fifth or fourth is always the one that goes up. So yeah,
exactly. And that could be a good thing, you know, because it is like that. You don't want to peak too early and things like that. You need that blip.
Yeah.
So I feel like a draw would be, you know, probably. Obviously, I can't say because I haven't seen the game. You know what I mean? But right now, I'd say that'd be a fair result.
Yeah, given the circumstances, obviously, but looking at it on paper, if you were betting on this game, you'd probably look at a draw more so than home or away wins. Obviously, just based off the quality and the form and obviously the individuals as well. Obviously, key individuals turn up for both teams. It's gonna be hard for either team to win.
Yeah, no, definitely. Go through some more comments. Did your dad stand up if he hates Watford? He probably was already standing up, to be fair.
I'm always standing up because I know someone's going to say
that. Oh, that's brilliant. Proud Terrier says, any point on the road is a good one, but we're at home and we do need to be winning. So there you go with that. Yeah, that's all we're gonna read of that. So there you go. I think that's everything said. Unless anyone wants to end it up on anything else, obviously we'll get into where they can find you both in a second. So yeah, anything else? Anyone wants to say about the game?
No, that's all from me.
So there you go, people. That is the discussion about the Peterborough game. Me and my dad are reacting to it, and obviously a preview with Brad for the upcoming game against Huddersfield for Luton. Thank you for coming on. And where can they find you, mate?
Yeah, like I say, I think you've put my channel in the description. I do the same stuff that you guys do. Been a bit slack on the previews recently, to be honest, but a bit busy, I guess. But yeah, always doing the matchday vlogs. All the stuff that kicks off tomorrow, that'll be on the channel about maybe an hour, 2 hours, if that, after the game. We'll probably do all this preview and talk all this, detailed kind of analytical points, and it'll be a 0-0. Like, that's just written all over. Like, watch it go and be that. But yeah, I'll have all the action, if there is any, on my channel shortly after the game. But yeah, I'm really great to do this, guys. Talk about this, and it's really tight at the minute. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. It's definitely the most exciting it's been in a while, I guess. This playoff race, not your normal contenders up there, which makes it a bit more kind of fresh and a bit more unpredictable. No one wants to see the same teams up there every year. It's just boring. Like, it's just, it's just there. It's like, oh, look, Fulham are up there again. Yeah, wow. Like, it's just, what's the point?
Yeah, no, definitely. Dad, was you going to say something then? Oh, is he there? It's not happened again, is it?
Oh God.
I think it might have. Wait, let me quickly do this, see if it does anything. Hello,
mate.
Yeah, I think the thing played up. Did you want to say something? I think you was going to say something.
No, that's it. No, good luck. Big up yourself, Brad.
Yeah,
nice talking to you,
guys,
mate.
Obviously.
And if Huddersfield go up, I'll be pleased. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, if we don't make it or whatever, is what it is. Luton, punched above their weight to a certain extent, but not so much so that people, the way people are talking about it, like we're like Bury or, do you know what I mean? We're like a non-league team or something. That's ridiculous. But
the media is just as bad as it is, honestly.
Exactly.
It'll always be this. The big clubs are the big clubs, and we have to accept this and bow down to them. It's ridiculous, but well, we'll see. Hopefully, it's one of us two that are laughing in the end. Hopefully,
yeah, exactly.
At least we can look at it and go, yeah, well, we told you so. So,
yeah, no, definitely. But Dad, you do music. Where can they find it?
Dazzy D Mixcloud. If you like drum and bass, jungle, old school, that kind of music, then check that out. And yeah, just big up yourselves.
Yeah, big up everyone. Even that's came over from Brad. Much appreciated. And yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. Always like doing these sort of, ones with opposition fans and that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you again, Brad, for coming on, mate.
Yeah, it's been great, mate. Thanks for having me, and yeah, thanks for letting me do this with obviously yourself and Darren.
No worries at all, mate. No worries at all. And yeah, if potentially, try and meet for the game, do a little thing beforehand if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, definitely. If it's possible, signal's always a big issue because obviously I think they turn on the. I think there's something they do with the signal so you can't stream the game in the ground. I think they do something to make it a bit dodgy.
Oh, yeah.
Either that or everyone's always on the phone. But it's always a bit touch and go. If I can get a message through, I will. But we'll just have to see about that. It'll be sooner to the day.
Yeah, no worries. I think I'm getting there quite early, to be fair, because the coach is leaving quite early tomorrow. Obviously, I know you probably won't get there as early as I'm. I think I'm going to be there about 5:05. It's crazy, but yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting one. I just hope for a good game, like we all do. But yeah, good luck to you. And yeah,
likewise.
If we can arrange something like that, then obviously we will do that. Big up Proud Terriers. He says, safe journey tomorrow and good luck for the rest of the season. Same goes to you. Obviously not the journey bit, but the luck for the rest of the season. And big up Taylor as well. He's been brilliant on my 2 streams today. He's been on them pretty much the whole time. He says, class stream, good luck for tomorrow. Absolutely good luck to Huddersfield. I'm leaving at 1, should be there by 6. Well, oh, geez. Well, that's a mad one. You must be stopping off for a while or something like that then. But there you go. That is episode 34 of the Hatter Show. We'll probably be back later on in the week. Might potentially be able to get Nottingham Forest fan on as well for that game. So that's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, we will preview this. React to this and preview the Forest one. So there you go. Until next time, obviously, don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. It'd be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already with the notification bell on. That would also be much appreciated. Subscribe to my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra, where I post clips and highlights and non-sporting stuff will starting to be going on to that as well. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are also in the description. And yeah, I forgot about that, Taylor. I forgot you live in London. So that fair enough about that. But yeah, until next time, guys, take care and peace.